Dr. Ochiko.
So how is it so far? Did you find what this thing on me is yet, or no? Ah, yes! Yes, master. Yes, young master. From what I can tell, it's some type of synthetic quirk. At birth, it was only meant as some type of synthetic... it was supposed to increase your instincts in the way you perceive things. But from what I can tell, due to the growth in the events of the sludge villain, you being attacked, blown back, having parts of your body critically damaged, it seemed that the synthetic quirk seems to be some sort of sentient portion. The sentient part allows it to grow and know what's right for the host. As both of your eye was exploded after that, it was also kind of blown back, but due to the events, as the eye itself was, no longer inactive, and was replaced by this synthetic quirk. Not just that, but your other eye was critically damaged, but not unusable. As much as it did, it made you a little blind, but from what I can tell, it dramatically improved or evolved your eye to a farther reach than normal people's eye, or a normal human's eye. Thus, normal as individuals. From what I can tell, one eye sees the abilities or color schemes of one's quirk. Depending on what types of quirks they have, the colors are exchanged through mutations, emitters, and other types. What was it? The mutation, emitters, and sentient, yeah. Or, all the other quirks. The 3 quirk types. Individual in the 3 quirk types, from what your eye can see. Even so, what you can see is the quirks and the color schemes they have. Depending on what type of quirk, you can depend the color that you can see through the eye. The eye sees the basis of the not just the power level or energy from the person's quirk, but you can also see what type of quirk it is from the color scheme. It is very unnatural for this synthetic quirk, but even so, I myself know nothing of it, only very little, or the basis of it. And then your other eye slows down your perspective of time dramatically. At least by, I'll say a tenth, or no, not a tenth, but at least 1/8 of a person's time. Meaning that what you can see for normal people is fast. You see it in slow motion. Unless the object itself is faster than what you can see, or is 10 times faster than the human eye, you will be able to see in real time instead of in slow motion. So the basis of speed quirks, very fast speed quirks or lightning quirks, where you can see the plasmas in the cells, cellular cells. And you can also see very far, like a sniper, from what I can tell. And it does also, if I forgot to say this, your strength also increases. every time, from what I can see, your strength, due to the synthetic quirk, is dramatically increased. I'll say, from what I can tell, as Dr. Ochiko hits Izuku with a hammer on the arm, from what I can tell, the synthetic quirk increases all of your natural stats. Your durability, strength, everything, even stamina bar. It's more of a... This lasts is weird. From what I can tell, it's the basis is protection, but at the same time trying to evolve the host so it itself can defend for themselves. And I can say it increases your stats by at least 50%. Or 50 times your normal human stats. And from what I can tell, it's also naturally there. It absorbs natural energy, or in this case, it's a plant, or similar to a plant. Plant synthesis. It absorbs the life energy from plants, or anything that has life in general. The only reason you don't absorb humans like plants is because plants don't have sentience. Unlike humans, you actually have to absorb them physically, either through skin contact, which will be more difficult, or you can do it through puncture contact. You having to physically puncture them to absorb them faster, or their life energy. And your hair, I'm guessing, is the... It was one screen, but now black. From what I can tell, it's this synthetic quirk. It evolves your hair, or the stasis of your features, to the best preserved, how would you say, it fixes your physical feats to gain or be able to hold more power. As in with your hair before, it was unable to gain a lot of sunlight or heat. But now, due to having black hair, you are able to easier for you to absorb sunlight and to absorb energy. Of course, it is a very slow process, though. And to get best effects, you would have to stay still. The more the more time you stay still, the more the synthetic quirk can absorb the energy. And what I mean, the amount of energy you'll have to absorb to gain whatever evolution that comes next after this would have to be a dramatic increase in power. From what I can tell, it's another 50 times. Meaning in total, you'll have 100 times strength boost. Not just that, but stamina, mentality, and other things. Mental blockage, speed, stamina, jump ability, stability. Just entire... What the human body usually is only able to go with 10 minutes at a time, your body is able to go through more. Your breathing, lungs capacity, every capacity in your entire body is dramatically increased, making you stronger by 100 times. Of course, the only drawback is the aggression. The more this synthetic quirk covers you, the more aggression it has over you. It also drains, or it also feeds off your anger and negative emotions, from what I can tell. So practically what you're telling me is that this synthetic quirk or whatever is like the ultimate emo quirk, correct? Well, it's not like that, but I guess in human physiology terms, yes. But from what I can tell, the main attraction to your skin, metal seems to be drawn to your skin, like a magnet almost. I'll say, from what I can tell, little magnets on a rank to at least a 2 out of 5 magnets, at least in a ranking position, connect to you. So spoons, fridge magnets, small magnetic items will be drawn to you, depending in a range close to you. So yes. This is due to the synthetic quirk also able to, how do you say, create electricity. The iron in your blood, and your blood in general, evolves into more of a purple or dark like substance. Your blood able to hold more, or hold iron within itself without yourself dying of, usually either metal rust or something else. Meaning that your immune system itself is on a whole nother scale than humanity or normal quirks or any type of mid-range to high-range quirks. From what I can tell, I can either call it evolution, human evolution, or due to a synthetic quirk. Why don't you just call it curse mark? I mean, from what I can tell, this thing's been on me since I was born. And I've been bullied with it since who knows how long. I've had it my entire life. First, it was just a little birthmark on my neck. Now it's just grown all over my body. I was ostracized by having this. I was called a monster. Of course, before the events happened. Before the entire Sludgeville, me getting hit in the face by All Might, while in Sludgeville, not just that, but also being exploded on my other side of the face by Bakugo. Wait, no, because it wouldn't be All Might, because All Might's dead in this timeline. So I'll say... it was, just a normal hero, I guess. No, I'll say it was, what I will say about America? I'll say it would have to be one of the, I'll say it was Endeavor. Instead of All Might, because almost technically dead. So I'll say it was Endeavor that saved Midoriya in the Sludgeville Part 2. Or the second Sludgeville attack. Half of my face and half of my body is burnt off. I'm not surprised I got something in return with this synthetic quirk. The skin was replaced by this black substance. Unlike normal skin, it's a lot more nutritious to elements like vitamins. From what I can tell, this skin or this black substance that replaced your skin is pure, filled, rich with vitamins, D, C, anything that's can create iron, anything that's practically strengthens the human body is just... This stuff is filled with it. One drop of this can very easily be used as a medicine to help people out. Or to help sick people. It would only take about an hour or about a couple minutes to take effects to cure them of their sickness. The basis is that you're practically a living nutrients machine. You absorb nutrients everywhere you go, flowers, anything. The only way you don't is if you focus on not absorbing the energy. But even so, if you do that, it does give you a light headache with parts of the black substance that replaced your skin to be hurting a little or aching. Of course, you do have to stop absorbing energy from a long time just to get a little of damage to it. Besides that, it's practically like a mixture of quirks. Whoever, whatever, put this inside of you created this specifically for your survival, it seemed. As there would be a skeletal X-ray of Midoriya's body. Midoriya's bones would be hard as steel, or a bit harder than technically steel, but I'll say they're as hard as at least cement or steel. Yeah, I'll say steel. They're as hard as steel, not just that, but it shows that all the vitamins in the body changed the skeletal system a little bit to more of a reinforced skeleton. So, either more bones or, bones that usually wouldn't be in certain places would be there to give the body more protection. Either more protection for the organs or, more vital points. Kind of overprotecting it. Overprotecting, the vital areas like the brain. So, yes. So practically he has very hard bones, not just that, but his entire physiology is a bit different than normal humans or any correct individuals. What else can you tell about me, Doctor? From what I can see, young master, you can also, from what I can tell, you can transfer. Not transfer it, but more of copy it as a weaker state and give it to others. But besides that, that's all I really know of. Okay, now let me explain. Before anyone tries to say anything. In Naruto, no one has a complete curse mark. Even Orochimaru himself does not have one. It is an incomplete curse mark. He was trying to, study on Jugo's transformation and creating the curse mark. But inevitably, due to the time, he didn't have enough time to complete the curse mark, giving him dramatic strength increase. So a complete curse mark would practically make him a demigod, you can say. But technically, due to, standards, I had to, change some things with the curse mark, especially due to the power setting. Since, I can't just make Midoriya a god off the bat, so yes. Yeah. So how long do you think it will take for my body to fully adjust to this so synthetic quirk? From what I can tell, it's changing your arms. The parts of you that are damaged from the fight are evolving, you would say. As you see, your skin when I first came in here was more of a very light gray. A very light gray, and as the more nutrients your body stayed still and absorbed, over time it became darker and darker. Inevitably, your sentient quirk can go all the way to the darkest black in the world, absorbing all sunlight. Meaning that the amount of energy you absorb is tremendous. And the amount of... he also has heat resistance, if you're wondering. He can absorb 99% of heat on the curse mark part of his body. Which gives him practically, if you know what I give him, I'm gonna give him, electricity, because practically, with the amount of heat coming off of Midoriya's part of the body, or at least left side of the body, he would be able to absorb so much heat, he would be able to activate, or kind of combine all the neon, plasmatic energy from that part of his body into electrical shock, practically. Or, as you all know, Chidori, practically. And he does have, elemental-based abilities. I'm only giving him dramatically 3 based abilities, which would technically be, electricity, fire, and inevitably smoke, technically. Since, fire makes smoke, if you know how it goes, so yeah. And if you're wondering how he gets electricity, hot enough fire, and, you superheat fire, you practically get, or technically the smoke, you technically, you get plasma, which is inevitably thunder or lightning, practically. Or electricity. In its pure state. Yes. Practically means that if you touch him, at least in the curse mark part of his body, you're getting a very nasty, shock. Or if you ever, rubbed your socks on the rug and you accidentally shock a friend, practically that's him, but it's on at all times unless, he kind of deactivates it like a ability. But at the most, it's even the weakest part, still shocks you. So, it's kind of a permanent, downfall to it. In kind of, shocks you when you try to touch it. It may not be like a low shock, but if he stays in the sun for too long, it can very well be, you shock, you very much getting lightheaded, or, faint from, the shock. And then inevitably above that, we all know it's the flippin' Chidori, so yeah. So, yeah. Also, if you're wondering, Midoriya's father was a scientist creating synthetic quirks, and inevitably created the curse mark, which he inevitably put into, cells of, you put into, them, white cells that, you create children with, so yeah. He wanted a child that, can practically become stronger as, days go on. As, years go on, and inevitably, become very strong. He was practically messing with human evolution. How fast you can evolve a human past their peaks. Both of his eyes were, I mean, one of them was technically replaced. The other one was just evolved into a Sharingan. And if you're wondering what I mean by the other eye, or the, the black and yellow eye that Midoriya has, think of Nine's ability to see, the color spans of quirks. That's practically what Midoriya has, but instead of him able to activate the ability, it's always on. So he sees normally through one eye. Technically, it's enhanced vision, but you know what I mean. One eye is normally sight, and the other one is, permanently ability sighted. And the curse mark will be unremovable unless you want to rip it from his flipping corpse. So, I mean, yeah, but, unlike that, I'm pretty sure Midori won't just allow you, just him staying still, just rip it out of you, practically, so, yeah. Think of Orochimaru, but not a snake, human with the curse mark, and has the complete, set, so, yeah. He is also able to transport the curse mark, or make smaller curse marks than himself, of course. Since he's technically, the older curse mark. Kind of think of like the Yaoja. The oldest is the strongest, practically. So, yeah. Or at least, certain, things. So, yeah, anyways, enough of that. So, what time? How long do you think this thing will last? From what I can tell, you're able to eat direct materials. What? Wait, you mean I can eat metal? Not exactly, but basically yes, but no. Your body absorbs large amounts of metal, and not just that, but resources like salt and other things. It only gives, you're able to eat enough where, you're completely, you're unable to hold any more of that nutrients. Meaning that you're overdosing vitamins. Meaning that you practically given super strength due to the amount of, perfect, what was the word? Perfect status, as in health. You're perfectly healthy, like perfect, like pinpoint perfect. Practically. That's practically what you are. You're pinpoint perfect health. Sickness is unable to you unless it's some sort of poison. But besides that, even a poison, it would take yes, you would get sick, but over an amount of time, it wouldn't kill you like normal people. If it's a killing poison, instead of killing you, it will get you sick. And if you get a normal, poison, you'll probably get a normal fever. Depending on how fast the curse mark that you called it would rely on. How about the Hero Association? Did they do anything? Like, my face, now that I look like practically Two-Face from Batman, the comics, so, is the Hero Association not gonna, give me money for, fucking up my face, if Like, from what I can tell, sadly, no. They're covering up the point that you got injured, and due to your quirk, they kind of passed you on off as fine. Of course, due to the curse mark, that makes you completely fine. So you can say you technically were fine, but at the same time, you need replacements for parts of your body. I swear, this corrupted society is getting annoying now. Ever since All Might's death, everything's been weird. A lot. And my brother being a vigilante, or since Hero Association sees, vigilantes as villains, they he's everywhere nowadays, honestly. If you're wondering, Nine is the brother of Izuku Midoriya, and Izuku was technically adopted by Inko, since Inko isn't the actual mother of Midoriya. Technically. I mean, technically not. It's confusing. Because, I mean, technically, the curse mark, it copied the, original sperm, advanced it to, like, the maximal, best physical, thing that you can have in, like, a human, the best physical traits and everything, immune system, everything, copied it, destroyed the original, host, and then, kind of practically made Izuku. Technically, Izuku's a clone, so kind of adopted, but kind of not at the same time, so it's kind of confusing. So technically, Izuku isn't the, Izuku, but technically he is, since he's a clone, but anyways, enough of that. Yeah. Anyways, 9 is the brother of Izuku. Izuku, how would you say? It's a very confusing family tree. I will not explain it until, I give hints of it as, next parts go out. Dr. Ochiko, who used to work for All For One, now sees, Midoriya as, a new master. And Midoriya is able to give and take away quirks, but it's a bit different than All For One's. Instead of killing the person, he kind of drains them of, like, some parts of, like, the life force that obtains the quirk or holds the quirk. He kind of absorbs that into himself, and then he's able to kind of, make it stronger and give it back to them. So kind of like a easier version of All For One. But at the same time, it's not instant. It doesn't instantly give you. It takes, time for, to take away the quirk. Like, 9. It takes time for him to take away the quirk, practically. Also, with 9's case, 9 at a young age, kind of, car crash. Midoriya's fine. Midoriya was, just a little child, but, what happened in 9's case, he kind of, car crash. Parts of, 9's, organs and whatnot was, damaged, and, Dr. Ochiko kind of like, I bet I'm experimenting with him, and then, kind of help him out, save his life, practically. Practically, Dr. Ochiko turning a new leaf and helping people. He saw, what the Hero Association was doing, and he didn't like it, so, he was like, I'm gonna make my own version of, like, UA, practically, but, there's not a lot of, people. It's only him. Technically, 9 doesn't have the curse mark. He has more of a metal-like version of the curse mark. As you see, he has, the entire suit, practically. So, yeah. Okay. So when's the next outpost going to be? Some allies of mine are going to be there. Not allies, but more of a people that I've helped, you can say. Interesting. So, Lady Nagant is going to be easy to break out, being transported to Tartarus as we speak, correct? In this timeline, Lady Nagant wasn't captured by, the police. She, became a vigilante, inevitably, you know, what up. And then now she's getting, you know, imprisoned, but now, you know, Izuku's about to bust her out and practically give her a curse mark, so yeah. Anyways, that'll be in the next video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you